Hey everyone, just want to do a quick video on how I tie my black drum high-low rigs. To each their own, however you want to make it, as long as it works. I mean, that's all that really matters. But this has proven very effective for me for several years. So, quick video, since it's black drum season, on how I tie mine. So I'm going to start with 100-pound test, mono leader. About 2 feet long, 2.5 feet. I mean, that's all you really need. This is the quickest way I do them. Take the end, sinker slide. Just a quick basic overhand loop. Yes, you could. I tie everything. I don't crimp anything. 3 twist through the loop. Pull, cinch down. That ain't going anywhere. Obviously. Alright, that's the bottom half. The top half will be a regular swivel. Usually a 120-pound test swivel, 130-pound test, something like that. That'll work fine. You don't want too big because it'll move around in the current on rough days, but you don't want too small and have you break off. But my general thought is you don't need anything heavier than the line you're using, because the line's usually the weakest point and will break first. Simple overhand knot again, just tie the swivel on. Alright, now your main leader itself is done. Now, I haven't looked to see if I aimed this video correctly to where it even point to, so forgive me if it looks goofy. Alright, now I'll take another section of 100-pound. I'm going to snell a hook. Typically for a high-low rig, you don't want to use a 9 or 10-aught hook. It's just too big. It's going to helicopter when you cast. Now this rig isn't made for a big distance, but again, you want to minimize drag to at least help you some if you do need to bomb one out there. So instead of using your normal 10-aught must-aught hooks, I use 8-aught must-aught circle hooks. These are the 39951s. They've proven very effective. They work very well. Relatively inexpensive, but non-offset straight circle hook. Run it through the front. Typical Snell. I usually wrap it once around, do 4 or 5 twists through the eye, the same way you went through the first time. This ain't gonna be a pretty Snell because it's not gonna be underneath all the wraps, but it works. It hasn't failed me yet. And then down through the bottom loop. Careful, pull it tight. Don't pull too hard on the top half because you may chafe it up, and that'll be your weak point, is right there at the Snell if you damage the line. Again, nice and tight. Trim the end off nice and neat. Leave a little room. I have found that sometimes when it sits in the water, it'll loosen the line a little bit, and then when you bring it back in and sinker dragging on the bottom, it tightens it up. So leave yourself a little slack so in case it needs to tighten down a little more. Alright, now it's just regular leader, 100-pound test. I will take that. I will take my first leader I tied. This one's going to be the upper hook. So I go about 3 inches, 4 inches down, maybe 6. I mean, somewhere in that range. You want it in the top half. Fold the line in half. Run this half through the middle. Do 3 wraps, keeping it tight. This can get tricky with heavier line. And then 2 wraps usually is all I need through the middle. Make sure it wraps around all 3 lines on the one side. Grab both your tag ends, both halves, pull, then you grab the hook and cinch. Now you grab the other end and cinch. Quick trim. this has not failed me yet. So, and the way you tie that knot, it forces it to stick out. Do the same thing, one more for the bottom hook. 8-10 inches, because you want to leave yourself some room to snell. Another 8/0 hook. I'm only going to do the one right now because I'm losing light, and I've got a ton of other stuff to do this afternoon. But right now, hopefully, today is March 30th, April 1st. No, it's March 30th. Hopefully I plan on getting out and trying maybe Monday, so 2nd, 3rd. Today is just a little too chilly. Cold front came through, so I know it would shut the bite down, if there even was a bite. It's still really early in the season, but I want to give myself the best chance. We got a warm front coming through Monday. I might go Monday evening, try to catch bait, and then Tuesday morning. Now where I'm going to go, I'm not sure. Either here in Maryland, maybe down Virginia. I'm not sure yet. That's going to be a lot of factors on wind, what time I can get up out of bed, things like that. Again, another snell. Grab your pliers. See, that's what you want to look out for. I'm actually glad that kind of happened so I could show you. If you're not careful, I know sometimes some people say lubricating the line will help. It might, but I haven't felt the need to do it all the time because I do a good thorough pull check. And if it snaps, well then I'd rather have it snap in my hand than on a fish. So always do a decent pull test. And again, try this one more time. But you can make these, it'd be high-low rigs. They take a little bit longer because it's 2 hooks, you're snelling both. But you can, if you can make them up as needed, even on the beach. Why, you know, as long as you have your main line set up and out in the water already, and then you need a few more rigs while you're waiting on the fish to bite, you could tie a couple rigs. I never really had the need, or anytime I've tied rigs, prepared in advance and made up a dozen rigs, it's a bad day and I end up losing a dozen rigs. So I get superstitious that way. I tie them as I need them. And then usually in that case, I only need what I throw out. Now, if you're using baits like sand fleas, stuff like that, you're probably going to want to change these hooks out about every 2nd or 3rd outing. Because the sand fleas, their shell will dull the hell out of the hooks. Cause you to lose fish. That's 1 wrap. That's 2 wrap. That's 3 wrap. Again, I'm doing the same knot I did the first time that I explained. 2 wraps here. Grab both ends. Make sure the knot pulls down. Let go. Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty. And I have found if the knot looks pretty, it's going to hold. If it looks ugly, don't trust it. Now you can see that knot looks good. It's going to need a little cinch down more, but I mean, for the most part, for what it's going to do, it works. That was a good pull there. And give a little bit of room. Now let me look at that. Do I trust it? Yeah, see how it's cinched down some more? There we go. That is your bottom hook. Now, here's the whole rig. Very simple. One on bottom, one on top. I found 90% of the time the black drum will take that top hook. Alright, that's it.